Well, there has been much back and forth over the Balakot strike conducted by the Indian Air Force on February 26. Now, the Indian government has, set the record straight. The Indian government sources have confirmed that the Balakot operation is now over. Sources tell Wion that the government's focus now is on building pressure on Pakistan diplomatically, since the Pakistani foreign minister has accepted that Masood Azhar is in the country. India believes that the time has come for diplomatic isolation of Pakistan. Government sources confirm that India is reaching out to the members of the UN Security Council to blacklist Masood Azhar. India's message to Pakistan is clear. We want to see Naya action by the so-called Naya Pakistan. New Delhi has questioned Islamabad about the misinformation campaign run in the country. Government sources have told Wion that there are three questions that arise. Why was the Pakistan media taken to Balakot, the strike area, a week later? If Pakistan shot a second Indian plane, why haven't they shown the plane or any evidence of it? Why is Pakistan media not asking where India got a piece of their missile? India is accusing Islamabad of trying to divert attention and misusing the OIC platform to do so. India believes that Pakistan has put itself in the corner at the OIC, and it is evident from the fact that the Abu Dhabi declaration has no mention of Kashmir. Islamabad is isolated in its own backyard. India also is expecting the US to act on information it has shared on the misuse of F-16 fighters by Pakistan. Siddhant Sibal, my colleague, is now joining us live for the very latest on what government sources are indicating. And most importantly, Siddhant, government sources indicating that after the military strike in Balakot, the focus now moves to diplomatic pressure. However, in the event of any more terror attacks, all options on the table.
Well, a strong message from New Delhi confirming, of course, that Balakot operation is over, and now the focus on diplomacy, whether it's in New York, Abu Dhabi or in Paris. We have seen how global pressure is mounting and Pakistan completely stands isolated. But two things we learned. First, of course, is the release of our defense personnel who was captured by the Pakistani forces happened under pressure, under global pressure, and not because of what our sources said, not because of the large-hearted Pathan heart of the Pakistani Prime Minister. Second, of course, the focus remains on diplomacy. Yes, India did share the dossier, but India said we shared this dossier to Islamabad to, of course, give them proof, but expected the same reply. But the dossier has been shared with every country on this planet. This, of course, is unprecedented, sharing dossier with all the countries. And one question was also asked, yes, India is trying to make sure that Masood Azhar is listed as an international terrorist. What next? Because in past we have seen other terrorist organizations and groups being listed under the United Nations. India clearly said that the focus clearly is to send a message to Islamabad that it is responsible for terror attacks across the region, and it is the epicenter of terrorism. Well, what Kabul says, what New Delhi says, or what Tehran says can be easily dismissed by Islamabad. But what the United Nations says cannot be dismissed by Islamabad. So that difference will come, and of course there is expected to be an economic squeeze also. Remember, this standoff is taking place. There is, of course, not a full-blown war, and it will not happen, at least from the Indian side. Even though there is a warmongering happening from the Pakistani side, we have seen they have released a video also, which of course India has dismissed. But this is taking a huge toll on the Pakistani economy. Their airspace is closed for days after days now. This, of course, is something that obviously will trouble the international investors. They would not like to invest in a country which is closed for so many days.
Right. Also, Siddhant, of course, importantly, government sources highlighted the misinformation campaign emanating from Pakistan, whether, as you rightly pointed out, about the movement of Indian submarines in international waters heading towards Karachi, or the fact that they said that the news about Masood Azhar's death should be taken with a pinch of salt.
not only misinformation campaign, it's a full-blown propaganda which is being carried by the Pakistani government, the Pakistani, of course, foreign ministry. And part of it, of course, we saw what the newspaper headlines are portraying. Pakistan, of course, deliberately trying to change the narrative of the threat of India, which will cause problems not only in the country but of course the Afghan peace process. We know what the Pakistani envoy in Kabul said. He said that the Afghan peace process can be completely destroyed if there is some problem on the eastern front. But clearly the narrative or the focus from the Indian side is on the issue of terrorism. That, of course, has been something that not only New Delhi has been saying, but Kabul and Tehran has been saying, and that is something that India is focusing on, using its diplomatic means and of course the diplomatic weight India carries. And that was very much visible during the OIC meet which happened in UAE, in which the Indian External Affairs Minister was present. India, of course, invited as a guest of honor, while Pakistan was, of course, in the corner. And of course the sources also clarified the resolutions in OIC are the independent stand of each country, not the official policy of the OIC, clearly saying that Pakistan has been using the platform for its own propaganda purposes rather than for constructive purposes, which of course India will be doing. We know the statement coming from the UAE foreign minister saying that they would like to embrace India in future. The OIC would like to embrace India in future.
All right, Siddhant, thanks very much indeed for joining us with the very latest on what government sources here are indicating post-India strike in Balakot.